New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. And hello again, dear ones. Dr. Robert with you over here.
Hello, Robyn Rice Olmstead.
And her lovely husband, Gil Olmstead. We're both here. It's exciting. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. If for those that are just tuning in, this is New Thought Today. It happens on Tuesdays every week here on the New Thought Media Network. My regular co-host, Reverend R.Sc.P, is off traveling. He's on his way to Canada, and Gil and Robyn are in Albuquerque. I'm here in Denver, so we're all stuck down here in the hot, and he's on his way up to the cooler climates. But thank you, Reverend Gil and Robyn, both for being here today. It's so great to have a chance. We bump into each other a lot, but it's really good to actually have a chance. We're going to get to sit around and talk a little bit today.
That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, so often we see each other, and we it seems, well, generally speaking, we see each other that is somewhere else. Like we're not like at anybody's place.
Yes, that's true.
Some event somewhere.
Exactly. We're only 6 hours away, and we generally go a lot more than that before we're in the same room.
Each other. Well, let's all go to Kansas. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, folks. But before we do, I'd love to give you a chance to let people in on a little bit. Tell us a little bit more about where you two are in the world, your journey to where you are in the world, but really what's happening in the Albuquerque area in the world of New Thought. So fill us in a little bit.
Well, I am the spiritual director of Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. We are one of 3 centers for spiritual living here in Albuquerque, in addition to Unity and Unitarian and several other New Thought type groups. We are in a moment of expansion and growth and figuring out what's next for our particular center. And it's been very exciting over the last few weeks. We've seen a lot of energy growth and intention from people, and so anyway, we've had the opportunity to have people in who have not been exposed to New Thought before, and who have been like really excited to find us, and so that's really good. And
So let me clarify for a minute that part of the reason we have some new growth and some people who haven't been around New Thought is, as you may have seen on Friday nights, we do a thing called Solid Grounds, which is a music cafe. And it's all done on a generosity model. So anyone can come, they can pay what they like, what they're able to do or not. And people donate their time, they donate food, they donate baked goods, and coffee is really what we kind of try to keep it to. But we have people that bake every week, and then we've built it up so that we are able to pay the musicians and the band. So we've been bringing in local acts from all around, and that people are anxious to see. And we run about 50 to 80 people a Friday night. And so it's been great because people get there and go, what is this place? Where am I? And it's an opening to at least start to hear a little bit about it. In the middle, there's an inspirational message. It's not real gaudy or woo woo or the universe or whatever, but it is a moment of our thinking, our positive thinking, so to speak, and really has drawn a lot of people in.
Yeah. I see that by the viewership we get on the videos on the live stream, because not only does this happen live in Albuquerque every Friday night, folks, but you can catch it here on the New Thought Media Network on a live stream as well. And it's always a fun thing. I love tuning in on Friday nights. And I remember when we first started talking about this program. Now, this is actually kind of an extenuation, or if you will, or a continuation of a very long-running program in the area. And you, with Center for Spiritual Living with Rio Grande, were able to step in and kind of help and support when they were in a moment of need. Tell us a little bit about how that all happened, how you all got connected.
It was a great opportunity. It had been run at United Methodist,
St. Stephen's United Methodist here in town,
for 25 years. And so part of our mission is really to reach out into the community and see what the community needs, what they're asking for. And so they had run this program for 25 years, and then one day they just decided to stop. So the people who were used to attending it all the time were, upset and sad and all those things. And
musicians and the people that had worked hard to be volunteers for it and all that. So there was kind of a conglomeration of people that had that came to us actually about 3 or 4 months after they had stopped and said, we would really like to see this exist. Would you like to take this on, kind of thing? And that's how we got it. And we started about 6 months after they had closed, and took on, and we've kind of morphed it a bit to our own flavor. We're a bit less preachy than they were in the middle, which has gained us some friends. And we're, working hard to bring in different acts. And, we actually had the support of the music community, because for the first 3 months that we ran, every act was a volunteer.
Wow.
So that allowed us to build a little bit of a nest egg, if you will, so that we could continue forward. And if we had a down week, we wouldn't be, wiped out by having to pay the band. So,
but it's also great to be able to support creativity like that, and really, be a space where, the musicians get so excited there because the audience is listening, as opposed to having drinks and doing other things. And, they're not just playing in a bar. So, sometimes they literally are stopped in the middle and be like, this is so weird to have you all listening. But it's really fun. It's been a very fun experience.
And we've had a chance to mix in some other stuff. We've done a poetry night. We've done a night of an open mic night where we had different groups from, and different people come in and play for 3 or 4 minutes at a time, 5 minutes, whatever it was, but they had a period of time. Mm-hmm. And so, get a real variety. And so our intention is that we also had a couple come in that does this stuff where they tell these stories through song and, this history. And so our intention is to open up what the creative arts things are that we can do in the community. And although our main focus is the music, we like to mix other stuff in and keep it interesting.
Yeah. This is a conversation we've been having on this program and other programs on the network for quite a while now, that in order to really grow the New Thought philosophy, if you will, and or not necessarily grow the philosophy, but grow the attendees, the listeners, the viewers, the audience that wants to engage and can learn from these philosophies, we have to think outside of the traditional church model. And I have been applauding you and watching, because it is outside the traditional church model. I like that you You're even saying it's a lot less preachy than it used to be. That's good, right? And we can take that on and because I believe we have a message that doesn't need to be preached. If we live it, if we're demonstrating it, if we're actually putting the rubber to the road and treating and moving our feet, as the old saying goes, if we're really living it, then we don't need to preach it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you a quick story about that. One of our guys who does tech voluntarily and was one of the main people that brought the program to us and was very instrumental in helping us, design, figure out, move forward. And shortly before we were ready to open, he came to us and said, I'm really sorry. I've realized I just can't do this because it's not spiritual enough. In essence, we're not preaching Jesus. We're not, giving people that thing. And before we started, he came back and said, you know what? I realized that's not an issue. That's not really, it's okay. And he's been there, at least every other week, if not every week since we started.
Yeah.
And very supportive. Like I said, volunteers and brought his band and he's played and, so I think what you're saying is we have a message to share and we're just sharing it a different way and people begin to realize that.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that is the way of New Thought. The New Thought is going to move forward because people don't want to sit in the pews for 2 hours on a Sunday morning, and we've always said music is a universal language, and it is. People get in and you're already in a vibration of joy and fun and love and so I think it just opens up that space to go deeper.
And we've had a couple people that we have brought in on Sundays as a result of their being there on a Friday night and connecting with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had multiple musicians just so grateful and so, just lavishing their praise on us for doing it. And every week somebody walks in and goes, wow, this space feels so good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's about ministry is showing up. It's being available. And I think that's part of what we're doing here is we're creating a space that's available for people. And so we're building spiritual community. We're building regular, any other kind of community. We're building this connection.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
Yep. Yeah. Building the connection. And if it starts with music, so be it. Yep. And I imagine it's a lot easier to find musical artists for Sunday mornings now too.
Yeah, we've had a couple cool ones. And I've often said that whole thing with church and this idea, mm-hmm. we have to get away from how can we get people to come here and join us? We have to get to what is it people need and what can we give them?
Right.
And in this case, we're still asking them to come to our space, but we're opening up a whole different kind of thing,
Yeah.
And so that brings people in.
I think there's in many places people still operate from that belief system that measures success based on numbers, measurements of how many members do you have and what's their per capita giving and how many people are showing up on Sundays and how much of your donations are based on committed giving versus on the go giving or in the plate giving. And we need to, again, and I think you're doing a great job here of creating other ways to measure success, because one of my mentors recently said, it's all about the people and it's all about the message.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the organizations and it's not about this or that. It's all about the people and it's all about the message.
And every time we interact with people, it's the message.
Yeah.
And one of the things we do in our newsletter is we report our giving and stuff so people know where we're at.
Okay. Yep.
And we report our attendance on Sunday, and we report our total reach. And that includes everything that's happened at the center through the week. So Sunday attendance is 55, 60, whatever. And then our reach for the week is 180, and people see, oh, it's not about just who came on Sunday.
Right.
It's about this bigger picture. And one thing you don't even know, we took the month of August off from Solid Grounds. All of us needed a break. We've taken the week off. We got a donation this week, the month off. We got a donation this week for $100 through the web for Solid Grounds. Even people are still connecting to it,
even though it's on a hiatus. And
right,
and that's good. That's the affirmation that says we want to see this return.
Yeah.
And the renewal for you all to say, okay, yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep doing this.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, it also, the other story is when we went to eat. I mean,
oh, yeah.
And this just speaks to all of us that we don't know. I mean, because I know every center is feeling the pain of whatever's going on, but go ahead.
So, we don't broadcast on New Thought Media on Sunday mornings, but we do our own thing on Sunday morning, and we stream. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I've had various people come into the church and go, oh yeah, hi, how are you? I've been watching you, that kind of a thing. But the other day we left the center and, we were tired. It was a Sunday and we went to a brewery down the way. I walked in and we were walking to our seat. They're taking us to our seat. And this lady's like, hi. We're like, hi.
She's screaming. I mean, she's literally at her table like, hi, hey, hi. I'm from LA. So I immediately was like, hi. And I kept walking. He's like, he gets to our table. He's like, who is that? I'm like, I don't know. I don't need to know. And he's like, I'm going to go see.
So I went back and talked to her. She's like, yeah, I'm so happy to see you and Robyn in person. I watch almost every week. I send in a check, or I donate online every month. And I don't know who this woman was. And so that's the power of thinking outside the box. And that's the power of the New Thought Media model, of the model of sharing things out. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes we get hung up on, what's the conversion rate of people online and dollars and cents and all of that stuff. And it's like, it's got to be about the people and the connection. Mm-hmm. It's got to be about building community. It can't, yes, there's a level at which we need the income, but we have to trust that from the people that come are not our source.
Right.
Spirit is the source. That's what we preach.
Yes.
So we should attempt to believe it.
Yes, I think we should. Let's give a quick shout out to John. John, great to see you. Says great to see everyone. Glad you're here with us. Anybody else that's watching live, you're welcome to chat along, chime along, drop a comment in the comment box, and let us know that you're out there. If you're watching on a replay, feel free to do that as well. We won't respond in this moment, but we'll type something back to you once we see it. Robyn, Gil, we could sit here and talk all day about any one of the various programs that you all are involved with, because, and I don't want to do that because you do have so much that you both do to support New Thought Media Network in our programming. And it actually started with Girls Behaving Metaphysically, but that was before New Thought Media Network. And then the two of you brought a whole new program to New Thought Media Network, which is Rockin' the Love, And then later we convinced you to bring Girls Behaving Metaphysically back. So let's talk about Rockin' the Love a little bit more. Tell people a little bit about that program, and what was the creative impulse for the two of you to start that program?
Well, once again, it's the connection, and our whole premise is that life is all about relationships. So it's the joy of relationship. That's where you're rocking the love. And of course, we let people know that we're a married couple, and often they see the results of that on camera and they get a charge out of that. But relationship exists in all areas. So we bring people in and guests, and we do our own thing and talk about different topics. But it's not about being in a relationship. It's about how everything is relationship. Yeah. And sometimes the example is a relationship, and sometimes it's a story about something else, and sometimes it's what's going on in the world.
Yeah, and it's about finding the love in all of those things, and knowing that it's really our relationship to God, to spirit, to ourselves, whatever, that we are working with before we're working with anything else. So it's generally a deep dive into something.
We like to have our people come on and comment and ask questions and share their thoughts, and we try to interject and fold that into the program.
And John is a great example of that. He's a longtime listener.
Yeah.
And always there for a chat, and that's really great to see him here. But yeah, that's basically what Rockin' the Love is about. And yeah.
And if my brain is correct, I think we're at around 3.5 years.
Yes, I can find that out.
We started in January. I know that.
Okay.
It was the January before we came here. Anyway, it's somewhere around.
And this says since 2000.
No, that's us.
That's us.
We're Rockin' the Love. That's why you see that picture of those two nice young people there.
There we go. Okay.
That was us earlier in our relationship.
Earlier.
But that's part of the thing that, we've been rocking the love for this period of time. And we've been together 25 years now, which I'm sure you know something about. Not quite 20. Well, 25, not without being married. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We've been around a while, a lot longer than one might have imagined they would ever get to. So there you go.
There we go. Okay. We're gonna just Robyn, we're gonna preclude a response to that last statement there. And it probably has been about 3.5 years you've been with us here then on the network and with that program. And again, folks, you can catch that at noon on 1 o'clock Mountain Time, noon Pacific. See, I gotta get you guys some new. You're not on Pacific Time anymore. You haven't been on Pacific Time for almost 2 years now, huh?
Well, we were, because actually Robyn's only been here on Mountain Time for the last year. She was in and out, and I was in and out of both time zones for quite a while.
But all of our
people are Pacific Time zone, so it all works out.
So it's what does time really exist? Does anybody really know what time it is?
Does anybody really care?
Okay, I think we're writing hippie songs now. But I get to watch. I don't get to watch your program live when you do it on Wednesdays, but I always do check in with it throughout the week and get a chance to check different clips and listen into what it is that you're doing there. And it is so much fun to watch the two of you explore what the meaning of New Thought is, and again, how we really live it. It's not just theory, it's not just, this author said that or this book said that, but how you're really, really bringing that to bear to support your lives, to support your marriage, to support your relationship in that way. So I love it. And before we go to break, I also want to talk a little bit about Girls Behaving Metaphysically, because Gil, this is your chance to take an early break, I guess, if you need. Because Robyn, this is more your program, and you were doing this even before the pandemic hit. You were started with Girls Behaving Metaphysically, and it's morphed and it's changed over time, which all good shows really do. But tell us a little bit more about the what it's like now, what that's all about now.
Okay. I think it's still morphing. I started it a long time ago now with my friend Samaya, who our concept was really just finding the metaphysical in everything, because people, you know how people often say when you're like, you know, you say you swear or you do something or you drink or you do something, and they're like, that's not very church-like. They let you do that at your church? It's like, that's, you know, it's taking that out of it. It's finding the metaphysical in everything, and the joy and the fun, and just knowing truly that God is in everything. So that's pretty much our angle, is to really do that. And that can be challenging, especially when we're talking about world events, right? Mm-hmm. But I am now joined with my co-host, Dr. Natasha Wilson, who is also a licensed therapist, but not on our show, even though you can't take the therapist out of the whatever that would be. You can't do it. So, yeah, and that's what we do. We just try to share that in everyday things, everyday situations, you know. Lately, a lot of women's situations have come up, but that's not our focus necessarily. That's just who we are, so they come up. We also take time to do a card share, because, you know, in metaphysics, we're always looking for a sign.
Yes.
Give me a sign. Oh my God, I went outside and the light turned red. That meant stop. I shouldn't go. You know, so we're having fun with that just by pulling a card each week and seeing what it says to us and what we can take into our week and how it shows up. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun too.
Beautiful. What are your favorite card decks? What card decks are you pulling from most often?
Most often I pull from one that's like Soul Sisters card deck or something. I don't have the exact name. But we do a combination. We've done, you know, medicine cards, we've done Wayne Dyer cards, we've done all kinds of things. So we're open if you have a good deck.
Okay. Lara's got a whole box of them. And she's more the card person than I am, and I get them and then I hand them over to her, and then she tells me which ones are good and which ones she likes. So I'll get you a list, or we'll get you a couple decks. I'm sure we have some sitting around here somewhere.
Some duplicates.
Somewhere, exactly. So, folks,
along with that, let me just say that that's also going to be our first piece of merchandising. We're going to come up with our own deck. So there you have it.
There we go.
Breaking news, y'all.
Girls Behaving Metaphysically card deck. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. Folks, if you wonder what you've stumbled into, this is New Thought Today on the New Thought Media Network. Happens every Tuesday afternoon. My guest today, Reverend Gil Olmstead, and his beautiful beloved Robyn Rice Olmstead, practitioner extraordinaire and probably close to emeritus at this point. So
Past it.
Exactly. We're going to take a quick break, though, and let a couple of our sponsors say hello, let you learn a little bit more about our network here. We'll be back in just a moment or so with more. Please don't go away. Stay tuned. Hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons. We'll be right back after this. And we're back with more of New Thought today here on the New Thought Media Network. My special guests are Reverend Gil Olmstead and Robyn Rice Olmstead, practitioner emeritus extraordinaire. I'm going to get lost in all those accolades again because you've been doing this forever. It seems you were around before. I don't want to, but you were doing this before I found this philosophy, and I'm an old man in this thing now. I've been around forever at this point. So I'm just and I'm excited because this is that chance where we get to talk about the next time we're both going to go far away from home to be together.
We are. But before we do that, Gil reminded me something very important about my show that I didn't say.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That my co-host is in Australia. And so it was really part of our vision, the new vision for Girls Behaving Metaphysically, to be global, to really represent from two sides of the world, and also to show that side of who we are, in that it doesn't matter where you are. We're all one kind of thing. Yeah. So it's 7 a.m. for her. It's 4 p.m. for me, but we have a good time.
There we go. All right. I knew about the Australia piece. I didn't put together all the time frames, so I didn't realize it was that early in the morning for her to make that happen. So check that out again, folks. That happens on Thursday afternoons here on the New Thought Media Network. You can look for it, and I should know what time that is. It is
4 o'clock.
Mountain. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Wait.
4 o'clock Mountain.
4 o'clock Mountain. I gotta update my.
According to your sheet, it's on Wednesdays at 7, right?
my cheat sheet has me. Yeah, exactly. I need to change my cheat sheet. So okay, all right. Well, let's talk about Las Vegas, because we are all going to be together in just over a month from now. The official dates, here it is, folks: September 12th through the 14th, and we'll talk about pricing and all of that. But look at all those faces, and look at all these names and all these people. We're going to have a heck of a weekend.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be full. That is for sure. And New Thought in the Desert.
Yeah. Now, were you guys there last year? I lose track of where I see people sometimes. You were not there last year.
We didn't go last year.
Last year was the first year. It was a really good time. And this year is they've changed some of the things up a little bit to better suit a weekend experience. And so the event actually starts on Friday morning, folks. It's 9 o'clock Friday morning is the opening. And there's workshops and speakers throughout Friday. Friday evening is a concert with Gary Lynn Floyd. And all of these various aspects you can do for one price, all in for $199. Or if you can't be there for certain parts, you can do day passes and or just the concert or that sort of thing. But I think you're really going to want to see the whole weekend, because then Saturday is a plethora of workshops and speakers. And on Sunday, we get Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson as the Sunday morning speaker. So it's going to be a jam-packed weekend. And you guys are doing a workshop together, if I remember correct.
We are.
What can you give us a taste?
Well, we're excited about this whole idea of collaboration, linked in spirit, working together. And I think that's, one of the themes of New Thought in the Desert. It's not CSL in the desert. It's not, it's not unity in the desert. The idea is we're looking at that broader picture of New Thought and acknowledging, hey, we're all on the same page. We may be looking at a different paragraph from time to time, but we're on the same page, and we all have the same intention. Our intention is to offer people something that supports their spiritual growth and allows them to understand who they really are.
Yeah. And you're hitting on a really important point, because You're both, and you both of you represent this very well. You're both agape trained and CSL certified, trained, licensed, all the various things, because we're teaching oneness, and some organizations have a little bit of a different path of organization, let's call it, right?
Yeah.
And I know, Robyn, you're involved in CSO leadership at organizationally at this point as well, which is fabulous. I'd love to hear what you can share there on that. But ultimately, this last year and this year again, there's a real emphasis on bringing together the various aspects of New Thought and the various branches of the family tree, if you will. And I think Las Vegas is also a great example of where they're on their third, maybe fourth year now, where they are sharing space. And it started as the CSL space, but then they've invited in a unity community that meets prior to them on a Sunday morning. They're experiencing a great blending of the two groups while still maintaining aspects of their own unique identity. And
well, and in the afternoon they have a Pentecostal church that rents them. So I mean, but how beautiful to just have that energetic of everyone in the space, you know.
Yeah. So our thought about our workshop is that we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to have it's going to be some kind of gaming event that will highlight how we work together. So there you go.
And highlight the Las Vegas energetic.
All right. As long as everybody has an outfit, there is that thing in Vegas, right, where there's never enough costumes for all the dancers. We got to make sure all the dancers have enough costumes.
Well, we were going to ask you if we could borrow some of your boas.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun. I mean, but I think it's really about connection, and obviously, you know, we always do a little work at getting past our blocks or whatever's holding us back.
Yeah, so. Exactly. I applaud you because you have an idea of what you're doing, and we're a little over a month away, and I still can't remember what talk title I gave them. So I gotta get into that.
I overstand. I have that problem, and I'm speaking next week, and I don't know my talk title. I was like, what did I say?
What did I say?
Craziness. But I want to also highlight about that event. I'm so excited because I'm also an agape practitioner, and there's people coming to speak from agape, Reverend Carlton and Reverend Jason, and these people. I mean, it's just so exciting to be collaborating together, and just I'm just excited for all of our energy to be in one place, because I just think it's going to be so much fun.
Yes. Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah. And of course, it's always fun for us to be places where there's agape folks, because our joke is all roads lead back to agape for us. There's always somebody, and these are people that I was in choir with, and we're not anywhere near being ministers yet, but are now, and so.
Life.
They let you do that in your church? And Reverend Cynthia Breeze is going to be there. I think she's agape originally as well. And it's interesting, and she shares a program here on Friday mornings with Rev Skip. Rev Skip can't be with us in Vegas because he'll be holding down the fort at North Hollywood, and Reverend Sidney, who is the senior at North Hollywood, will be with us in Vegas. So they both couldn't slip away. But we got Reverend Cynthia, and if anybody watching, if you're not familiar with Reverend Sidney Laumstein from the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science, go look that up. She's going to be. She is a great speaker. I've gotten to know her through Anton in the last couple of years, and had a chance to work with her. Again, the lineup for this thing is really, really good. Elzia will be there. Reverend Elzia will be there. Obviously, Reverend Stacy and Cheryl Bell and Reverend Cheryl from Las Vegas themselves. Unity folk, Agape folk. It's really going to be a good time.
And $199 is nothing. I mean, that's so. The value of hearing all of those people and with the workshops and all of that.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
And the synergy. One of the things I discovered about their scheduling is their intention is to pretty much not have anything overlap. So in other words, they're not doing 5 workshops and splitting people up.
Right.
You know, if you want to go to the workshop, you go to the workshop. If you want to take time off, take time off. But the point is, there's one thing happening. You're not going to miss anything by going to something, which I think is kind of cool. You know, if you can pull it off in this, you know, I'm sure you get to a certain size, that gets harder, but it's kind of cool.
Oh, absolutely. And last year, I remember, so I'm sitting in the back of the room pushing buttons and recording and doing all of that kind of work, but I still came home with pages of notes, with all kinds of notes from various people. And I love, I've heard this said, John Waterhouse said this in Mexico a couple weeks back, right? I am a lifetime student of this philosophy. And it really struck me that I think some of us, and I've been guilty of this, I lose some sight of the student piece. And it's easy after 20 plus years to fall into that authority piece, or this is the way it's always been piece. But to stay a student, stay curious, and to continue to find ways to learn more about this philosophy. I love listening to all the other folks that we have. And last year it was, again, I came home with stacks of notes because the reminders, and this isn't the type of crowd where the speaker speaks and then disappears. This is the type of event where you're sitting shoulder. You don't know which luminary in the movement is going to sit down next to you. Could be Dr. Lloyd Barrett could wander in and sit down. Deborah Johnson could wander in and sit down. There's all kinds of people that are there for the community, that sense of learning, a learning community. So it's really fun in that way.
Yeah, and I really hope, especially people in like Southern California, Northern California, those that are 5 and 6 hours away will really either, you know, hop on the plane or take the drive, because it's really going to be such a great connection. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens.
Well, the energy and intention behind it is driving it, and I got to say, Reverend Stacy and Reverend Cheryl are really holding that space.
Yep,
appreciate that.
Exactly. And if anybody's in town on Wednesday, I think is when we're gonna have the first annual Greater Las Vegas New Thought Disc Golf Invitational.
Wow.
Yeah, I just made all that up.
Is that the Wednesday before the conference?
That's going to be the Wednesday, yes.
All right, excellent. And then you'll still have Thursday to recover before you need to show up on Friday morning.
Yes, I have Thursday to put together the tech package. I have Thursday to build the tech system, and but it turned out that Reverend Elzia and my wife and I will be staying together. He's got it's Vegas. You don't get anything on just a Thursday, Friday night. You get the whole week for a couple $100. He's got a place for the whole week. We're going down early. We're going to hang around the pool for a couple of days, and we're going to play a little disc golf for a day, and then we'll go to work for the weekend. So anybody that wants to be in Vegas that Wednesday, look us up.
I'll look forward to receiving the invitation.
Okay.
To the invitational.
For the invitation.
Well, but speaking of that, I think that we need to do like a New Thought Media trip, like to one of these conferences or to one of these events, so that like our listeners can join in and we really plan, like, you know, whatever. Thursday night is cocktail night, blah, blah, blah. Meet the players, and we all, we have a big event somewhere fun.
There we go.
And I know you're a gamer. I know you'll go anywhere. So how are we?
I'm thinking we come visit you guys in Albuquerque.
That works too. That works too.
All right, folks, there's another volunteer opportunity around New Thought Media Network. If you'd like to help Robyn plan this event, we'll be happy to put you two in touch. Don't worry about it. Hey, I look up at the clock and we're going to run out of time, but I would be remiss if I didn't get a chance to ask each of you the question we ask everybody on this program. And that really is, because of the nature of it, where do you see, you're visionary people, you're on that growing edge of the New Thought movement. Where do you see New Thought going? Where do we serve the best? How can this philosophy do more good in the world? Or where are we going to be in 20 or 30 years? What's the big vision? What's the shorter term vision? But what do you see as the future for New Thought?
I think that the future is bright. I think it's full of possibilities, and I think it requires us to truly let go and trust, because we can't hang on to the old things. We can't hang on to how it's been done. We can't hang on the words of, excuse me, let me rephrase that. We can't hang only on the words of Ernest Holmes from 100 years ago, or Emerson from 200 years ago, or, whatever it is, right? We can't just hover there and be stuck. We've got to continue to allow those things to inform us as we continue to discover more and understand more of how spirit shows up. But I think our job as New Thought is going to be authentic and to be truly open. I mean, we are the place for welcoming the unwelcome.
I agree.
I want to write that last one down real quick. We are the place for that welcomes the unwelcome.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Sorry, I stepped on you there, Robyn.
No, it's okay. I agree. And I think for me, I think that, speaking of Ernest Holmes and those that have gone before us, I think Ernest Holmes for sure would be the first one to tell us, let go and open up even more than you are, and I think it's going to require letting go of a lot of old and trusting that we are doing it right now, trusting that, like when I look back on when you started back in this philosophy over 20 years ago, I can see the shift. I can see the shift that everyone talks about. Now there's billboards where they're talking about kindness and spirituality and peace. Like before, you would have looked at a billboard like that and gone, what the heck? I think it's subtle, but I think it's powerful. But I really think, we're going to have to open up to a different idea of church and what that means, or how we do what we do. And that may mean taking it out into the world, or may mean having a musical venue, or we don't know, a kindness cafe. We can do anything, but it's just people are drawn to different things.
Yeah.
People want to go deeper. And what the opportunity we have now is that there are a lot of people going into it. There's a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of things you can find where you can go to the Hallmark store and get the mug with the saying on it. All that stuff is now available. So people are already hearing it. And so if somebody can show up and offer them a way to embody it and to support them in that, that's going to be our magic.
Yeah.
And I think, I just want to say, I think like New Thought in the Desert, like New Thought Media, the important thing is really everything that we do here on New Thought Media is about engaging with that curiosity and connecting with each other, connecting with the world, connecting with the thoughts. And I think this is one of the points of our workshop, is that connection matters more than anything. And really being able to find out, I mean, especially after pandemic and different things, people are still searching to find out what that means and how they make it doable in their lives in a different way. So
Yeah. I I'm so in touch with this concept of connection because I don't think it was the pandemic that made the shift, truly. I can remember back, it's the internet that did it. It was smartphones that did it. It was live streaming that made the shift. And that was all in play more than 5 years ago. That was all in play before the pandemic made us all forced everybody into that arena.
Right.
And I remember Sundays were they were that balance of community but not a beginner message or a first timer's message. The message was deep because you bought the tape and you took the tape home with you. And then it was a big deal when we moved to CDs.
Right.
And now I don't know any churches that are still really selling CDs and tapes at the back of the room at the end of the service, because it's all online. And I remember my first teacher saying every class comes in with a little bit higher understanding of the basics. And sometimes I see communities that appear to get caught in teaching too much of the basics too often, making Sunday mornings too approachable sometimes of the basics. That I wouldn't suggest you're doing that, Gil, because I watch you on Sundays too, by the way. But it's not, I'm one of those guys. I'll freak out when I see it in real person, in real life. But I want to see the opportunities of how we take it deeper. And back then, 20 years ago, you didn't have the instant access we do now. You didn't have the consistent access that we do now. So I think people do come in the door with a deeper understanding, and they do have a more pervasive environment of these beliefs and this philosophy. And it's up to churches and centers and leaders and teachers to really take it to that deeper level, to go where we haven't gone before.
Yeah, and to not be afraid. To not be afraid.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, people come in with the knowledge, they just may not know what it's called. What we do is tell them, oh, this is a philosophy of this, and then you start to learn some of the history, and you go, this is fascinating. People have been doing this, and they've been doing that, and oh, I see how so and so made it through their life, and so it's both opening up to what's coming through and being, I think, buoyed by what's come before, and who's come before and what they've done. And we know that everybody, there's evolution. There's evolution in our species. There's evolution happening in the spiritual consciousness of our world. Mm-hmm. Some of it appears to be de-evolution. But that too is part of the evolution, the stuff that's coming up, that's showing up,
We've been saying for a long, long time that we are the ones we've been waiting for, that the transformation is upon us, that systems are going to have to change, that things are going to have to break down for new ways to come forward. I kind of think we're in the middle of that. So let's celebrate it. Let's not put down the fact that we're going through change. And it's refreshing because I do see places where organizationally, various organizations are making a move towards a newer approach. I also see some organizations that are really digging in their heels to stay with the way it always was, and to keep it pure, if you will, or keep it sacred, if you will, as to where we came from. But New Thought's been an evolving philosophy since it came online, since we became aware of it.
Yeah.
So, by the way, the Frisbee Invitational, I will be bringing my CDs to you. So.
Okay.
Good boys.
We're gonna have fun. I got some discs for you, Gil. We'll be good.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Sorry, got to work with what I got.
Exactly. All right. Speaking of working with what we've got, I think we've worked with everything we've got today. So thank you, dear ones, for being a guest. And I'll give all the listeners at home the inside scoop. I basically totally forgot that Elzia wasn't going to be here this week. Reached out to Gil and Robyn yesterday afternoon and said, "Can you help?" And they both graciously made sure and moved some things around to be on our show today. So again, I want to say a huge thank you for all you do in New Thought, for all you're doing for the network, and for jumping in extra special when it's needed. So thank you.
And Robert, I know I'm watching the clock too, but I just want to say a big thank you to you, because not only for New Thought Network is an amazing place, and for creating that, but also for all the work you're doing in the organization and in the world, because I see it and I feel it, and I know that it's making a difference. So I just want to appreciate you for always making time for all those things.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, folks, before we exactly. Before we go, we're going to say thank you to our organizational sponsors and our individual donors. So don't go away just yet. We'll be right back. Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring. All right, folks, that's all we've got time for today. If you'd like to learn more about Reverend Gil and Robyn, head over to the website Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living.org, or find them on any of the socials. And if that's too hard, just reach out to me. I'll give you their phone number. Until next time, we wish you peace and richest blessings. Bye now.
Bye.